What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six, number 43. My name is Rob. Today I have for you Gooderham and Worts 4 grain. Okay, this is bottled at 44.4%. I guess in theme with the 4 grain, they want to use a lot of 4s. The 4 grains involved in making this whiskey are corn, wheat, barley, and rye. Okay, this is a Canadian whiskey. Gooderham and Worts used to have a distillery downtown Toronto. It says here York, Upper Canada on the bottle, but yeah, that factory is closed down a long time ago. Okay. The distillery district downtown is now used as, it's got a lot of restaurants, some stores. It's very festive come Christmas time. It's a really cool place to be. If you ever have been downtown Toronto, if you're a Torontonian, you know this already. But if you're traveling to Toronto, that's definitely a place you want to check out because they have some really cool things in the distillery district, and they do still have some beer breweries and those types of things where you can check those out because they are pretty cool. I believe, I can't think of the beer at the top of my head right now, but there's some pretty cool ones down there. If I think of it throughout the video, I'll let you know. So, bottled at 44.4%, 4 different types of grain to make this whiskey. It is not natural color, okay, definitely some added color in there, but that's to be expected with any of your Canadian whiskeys that are lower than $50. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen a Canadian whiskey come out just yet that's been bottled using natural color and non-chill filtration. Hopefully in the years to come. I know Dillon's Distillery is going to be releasing a 100% rye that's been aged for 3 or 4 years. Let's see what they do with that, what price range their product comes in at. But at the moment, there's nothing going in the Canadian whiskey market right now less than $50. I would say even closer to $70. That's not chill filtered and no added color. So both of those things have happened here. You can buy this for about $44. Again, continuing with the 4 theme, at the LCBO in Ontario. But as far as worldly, I'm not even sure if the Gooderham and Worts is available. I remember someone asking me if I had done a review on Gooderham and Worts, and they were from another country, so perhaps this is available worldwide. I'm not 100% sure. But what I do know, actually I'm pretty certain it's in the States because some of the companies that do reviews online also have reviewed this. So not to mention any names, just for YouTube reasons. Anyway, to this whiskey. Okay, so you get your standard caramel apple type smell. The corn brings in a very buttery type, peaches and cream kind of smell. The nose tells you right away that it's sweet. Very sweet. Okay, like I said, super sweet, a little bit of apple, but definitely strong on the caramel smell, and I'm not picking up too much oakiness, so there's not a very active barrel used in this, okay? And it's probably not very old. Okay. On the palate, Again, very sweet. It's actually pretty smooth. Goes down pretty nice. You get the caramel, a little bit of apple. It's not smoky. It's not very oaky. But in the $45 range, $50 and lower, I would say there's not too many better Canadian whiskeys out there than this one. It's a solid go-to. Of course, the adding of color, the non-chill filtration, those lower the mark for me a little bit. Originally, the Canadian Club 20-year-old was priced at $50. If it still was priced at $50, I'd say hands down go with the Canadian Club 20-year-old. You're still getting the added color and non-chill filter, chill filtered, but what Canadian Club does that most other Corby distilleries and Crown Royal and all these other types of companies don't do is they blend their whiskeys prior to barreling. Whereas something like Gooderham and Worts or all the Wisers, Canadian Crown Royal, Gibsons, most of them, if not all of them, they take from whiskey that's been aged in like exclusive rye in one barrel, and exclusively wheat in another, and exclusively corn in another, exclusively barley in another. Then when the aging process is complete, then they mix the whiskey together and blend it, okay? As the ambassador of CC told me, it affects the harmony of the whiskey when it's blended. And of course, you still find incredible whiskeys in the other streams. I just find that the way CC does it is, if you're gonna blend, that's probably the best way to do it. Of course, you have to have a certain recipe in place and have it, scheduled way ahead of time to age it for various amounts of years. So like the CC 20-year-old, they've had a recipe and they bottled it, or they barreled it 20 years ago, and they're bottling it every once in a while. Okay, so it makes things definitely more challenging, but it does improve the product, and you'll see that with some of the CC line. Corby Distilleries is a big name brand. They own Wisers, they own Gooderham and Worts. I think they own a few others. I don't want to say names because I can't think of them at the top of my head. I do believe that Pikes Creek is involved in that. I could be wrong. I'll double check that and let you guys know at a future review. But it's good stuff, and Corby usually produces good stuff. One more taste, and then I'm gonna give it a mark. Okay, so if you're looking for a sweet whiskey under $50 that is probably either bourbon or Canadian whiskey, and it's not smoky. So like this really reminds me of some bourbons without the smoke. Okay, so I guess that's probably the best way to describe it, is minus the charred barrel of a bourbon. That's what that tastes like. Okay, it's really good, it's really smooth, it's tasty, but it's not overly complex, and it's not something that I'm gonna go to on a regular basis because it doesn't fulfill my palate. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a solid B. I'm sure there's others out there that think it's worth a lot more, but again, it doesn't wow me, and that's the problem. I put this one off for a while, and I've had probably about 3 or 4 drinks of this over the past maybe 3 months. So it's been a while that I've had it, maybe longer than that actually. So maybe not 3 months actually, but pretty long considering I've only had a few drinks out of it. So nothing's drawn me to it, okay? And that's for me a bad sign. That means that it's not an incredible whiskey, okay? So B, that's good stuff, but not incredible. I want to show you guys some stuff. I had an opportunity to try the Old Pulteney 12-year-old. You're only allowed to bring back 1.14 liters, which is kind of a ridiculous number because it's not even 2 full bottles of whiskey when you travel abroad for over a week. So my brother-in-law was able to bring me back. I had to be a little bit strategic with what I got, so I got the 50 ml Old Pulteney 12-year-old, which I will be reviewing next because I'm afraid that once my friends come over or whoever, this bottle will be gone before I get a chance to review it. I got the Old Pulteney 17-year-old, which is absolute fantastic stuff. I had to try this one right away. Really, really good. And then, last but not least, got the much smaller, cute version of the Glengoyne 21-year-old. So if you can see here, okay, the boxes are much different in size. I've had an opportunity to taste this one as well because I've had an opportunity to try this at LCBO that provides samples, but it's not the same as allowing it to wait in the glass, having the right type of glass, and being able to just sit on your couch and really pay attention to the complexity of the whiskey. So that's the 21-year-old. It's a cute little bottle. It's 200 mils. So like I said, I had to be a little bit resourceful with the way I went about my orders. These two were purchased on the Whisky Exchange because Whisky Exchange actually provides a lot of different types of minis that you wouldn't think of as minis. And then the Old Pulteney 17 I purchased on Master of Malt. Okay, so it's really something that I wish we could do in Ontario. Purchase from places like Master of Malt, purchase from places like the Whisky Exchange, but unfortunately because of regulations in Ontario, we're unable to do so. But overall, thanks to my brother-in-law, I was able to get some good stuff. He's back permanently now, so I'll have to rely on my younger brother, Mike, who he's married to a Florida native, and they go back to Florida every once in a while, so I'll have to rely on him to pick me up some stuff that I'm not able to pick up here. Okay, so like I said, the Old Pulteney 12-year-old will be next. Then I'm gonna get to this bourbon because I really have to get this back to my brother because I feel bad that he lent this to me. I had a couple drinks of that, really good stuff, and as you can see, I still have quite a few coming up for you guys. So the Gooderham and Worts, it's a solid B. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm still working on the Facebook account. I want to kind of change some things up before I post it, so I'll let you guys know what that is. But on Instagram, I'm at Whiskey in the 6 the number, not the word. And on Twitter, I'm at Whiskey_in_the_6. Cheers, guys.